We made it.
We made it. As my husband would say, running and gunning.
That's the way it feels. It's like, is it a Monday? I don't know. Yeah, moving a little slow this morning. I think both of us are. I know I am. But I'm excited about what we're going to be talking about today. So that will take over and wake us up.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited about today because I think that, whatever it is, whether it's oversharing, whether it's, pretending everything's rosy, ranting, too many selfies, I feel like all of us collectively have our own social media pet peeves that just absolutely drive us crazy. And everybody's got an opinion on it, right? So today what we want to do is talk about our picks of the top pet peeves on social media that drive us crazy. And we want to know if you agree or disagree, or if there's any big ones that we left out. So without further ado, Glenna, let's get going.
Okay, welcome.
And we're back.
Yeah, now we're good.
I was thinking when that was playing, I don't know if you ever watched Family Feud, but with Steve Harvey, he always says the same thing every time. He's like, thanks for joining us. And boy, do we got a good one for you today.
We need something like that because I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we got a good one today.
We can sit here. I know a big pet peeve, which isn't even on the list. Let's sit here a while and wait for people to come on.
Oh gosh, that is a pet peeve. That didn't make the list, but that sure is. We're gonna wait for those numbers to go up.
We might be sitting here a while. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Marketing Mix. Every week we talk about different types of digital marketing, and we just try to mix it up. Where the mix comes with Marketing Mix, and we just never know what we're going to be doing, but it's going to be a fun one today. But first, let's look where you can find all of our broadcasts.
Alrighty. Okay. Every week, this guy is slow today. Every week we go live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and you can always catch the replay on Instagram and LinkedIn. And don't forget about our podcast, Marketing and a Mic. We just got a message that our subscribers have gone up. So that's really, really exciting. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fusion One Marketing. Yeah, well, there it is. Because we are always putting out good and free resources in digital marketing. We are here for the people.
For the people. I love Melissa Dixon. She's like, good morning. I was a bit worried for you two for a hot minute. Yeah, we were a lot of last minute stuff this morning, Melissa.
Yeah, it was behind the scenes.
And Melissa's going to be on a show here in a little bit, 10 o'clock this morning. So
yes,
tune in to BNI Alabama.
Absolutely.
And Perry, you're on vacation, so I know you are dedicated.
Wow, Perry.
We appreciate you coming. She goes, I'm just here to see what I'm guilty of.
Let me tell you, I recently became Facebook friends with Perry, and I was like, oh, I so get her. I so get her life. Like the stories that she shares is just like, it's just, she cracks me up. So keep those stories going, Perry, because I love them.
Yeah, awesome. And Cindy's here. Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning, Cindy.
But yeah, I'm like you, Perry. A lot of these may or may not resemble a few things that I've done or still do. Yeah. There's still, when you see it, you're like, oh, yeah, it makes me want to backspace when we were planning for this show. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the whole thing with this is that, everybody's kind of passionate about which is their pet peeves. And this is not to critique anyone out there because we're probably guilty of some of these too, but shall we just knock it down and get right to it?
Let's go.
Okay. Because this first one absolutely cracks me up. It's called the copy, paste, share, or else. And these drive me crazy because First of all, I don't want to be tagged in something that's like, okay, if you agree, copy and paste and tag 10 people. And then it adds this pressure of like, if you don't do this, it means you don't care about me. You hate the world. 4 unicorns are going to die. And I'm just like, Yeah. I don't want a to-do list. Like, I feel like those drive me nuts because it's like, you're making me copy and paste, share, and then I got to find 10 people to tag, and then 10 people that aren't going to get mad at me for tagging them, and it's just something where it's a lot, and there's really no value in doing it,
It is a lot. And what I always get caught up in is I'll be reading it and I'll be like, that's so nice. And then it goes, at the end is like, now you need to copy and paste and put it on your wall. It's like, that kind of just ruined the whole story.
Right. I know. And then I'm like, wait, this is even about you. This is even a true story.
Yeah. So it's not like, so it doesn't mean we don't like you or I don't like you. It's just, I don't know. I kind of protect what I put on my wall. So anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. We got a lot of people chiming in. Perry just said that's the worst.
Good morning, Eric.
Yeah.
Eric's been on with us before. He is a new member in our BNI group. Glad to see him.
Awesome. Yay. All right. Do I have any more we to say about this, or should we move to number 2?
We could probably just stay on that one, but yeah, let's move on.
Okay, because this is another annoyance. Self-proclaimed experts. Okay. I'm like, okay, you say guru, I'm an expert, I'm a specialist. I'm like, are you really? Because what are your credentials? What did you do that all of a sudden now I'm an expert? And to me, I'm like, don't give yourself all these titles if you really haven't earned it, or you can't even explain right what you're trying to be an expert on. And I feel like any of that stuff where it's like easy trick or instant success, or this is going to be fast, or you're going to get all of this for $20. I'm just like, okay, red flag. I mean, like any industry, Cindy would know if anybody was like real estate success overnight. Well, maybe right now because things are crazy, but no, I'm kidding. But I mean, there's really no fast track. And then when they act like they're an expert on it, it just makes my head spin.
Well, and in our industry, we have a lot of experts.
Yeah.
A lot of experts. Rob always says those people, well, I shouldn't say what he says, but anyway.
Yeah. No filter, Rob.
Yeah. Sitting in their mom's basement with a computer. But, I did say it. They're experts. But, and a lot of times I fall for it. I have to admit it, because we always want to stay up to date on everything that's out there. And if I see somebody advertising some social media info or SEO info, I'm like, that might be pretty cool. I just want to tune in, see what they're saying. And then it just makes me so mad, because I'll take the time out of my schedule to tune in. And it's like, half that stuff wasn't even true. And secondly, I know a lot more about it than they do. And so it's kind of like, be careful of your gurus.
Be careful of your gurus. Exactly. A lot of times they're hooking you in and they're really giving you information that's like common knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. It's like John Chambers. He's like, we all have those friends that have too much time on their hands.
I know. I feel him on that. I really feel him on that, because I'm like, how do you have this much time to share and that thing of like tag 10 people? I'm like, get to work.
Now this next one kind of upsets me. I'll just be honest. So
okay, yes, public shaming and doxing. Let me tell you, this. I'm with you, Glenna. It super gets on my nerves, especially those ones that are on those neighborhood pages.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
Don't get me started on the neighborhood.
Yeah. I'm like, it's either directed at a neighbor or a teenager or some public figure, whatever it is. They put their personal disputes right there. And it's like, that's not where it needs to take place. And let me say that if there's like a safety concern, or you've noticed something and it's like, okay, I need to put this out there for the people, not a problem. But like, if you're posting about something that's annoying you, or you're trying to just like pick a fight, it's not okay. I hate those ones that to the person that was driving on the second roundabout, you know who you are. I'm like, oh my gosh, address it privately. Like, why do you gotta out people? Anyways, could go on and on and on. I feel like resolve it in a private way, or contact upper management or the authorities, the right people that can handle it.
The authority.
Yeah, like Facebook is not gonna be your forum to get those things handled. Anyways,
but I will say this: it can get pretty funny.
It's so entertaining.
I mean, I'll tell you what. We live in a town called Chelsea, and there's some pretty funny people out there. I'll have to admit. Jacob Vale's joining us. He's like, John Chambers is probably still asleep. John laying in bed commenting. Then he's like, dang it, I just did that. I'm not sure which one he's talking about. Did you just shame somebody, Jacob?
Jacob, public shame? What the
heck? But yeah, the neighborhood pages are quite entertaining. But yeah, after a while, oh my gosh. Some of them are just crack me up. But then again, some of them, like you said, are something that people need to know about. And then you still have the hecklers out there that are just dogging everybody out. Even though it's kind of funny, it's like, come on now, people. That poor person didn't mean to start all this. So anyway, and the other part of this called doxing, and I hadn't really heard of that term very much, but let me read exactly what doxing is. To search for or publish private information about a particular individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent. Now, there are some mean people out there, unfortunately, and they'll do this, but this isn't the place to do it. Come on, people, especially like if you're going to like geotag somebody's neighborhood or just try to really, being disrespectful to somebody. So let's clean that up, people.
I can't stand that. When somebody's like, oh, here's their driver's, here's their license plate, here's all their information, here's their address. If any of you guys want to, rally up and get together and let's go to their house and beat them down and tell them how horrible they are. I'm like, golly, guys, relax.
Oh, Jacob, public shaming. You did that? I can't believe that.
Yeah, Jacob, you did it to me. I know, and I don't appreciate it.
Did he?
No. You better not.
We will call you out.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do one of these things that we're not supposed to be doing because we'll call you out.
Right. Exactly. And then I'm going to geotag your house. Oh my gosh. But this is a big one here, is public shaming a business. I feel like you have to be so careful when you do that. And it kind of hurts my heart because I have seen businesses that are good businesses and good people. And you know what? It's, not everybody's a day is going to be a tense, and businesses are no different. So to me, I feel like if you had a bad experience, you have every right to comment about your interaction, but do it in a civil way. And I think the name calling and the personal attacks and all that, and making it your personal mission to take them down, is just crossing the line in a lot of circumstances. And the reason why I say that is because we've seen this. Some businesses, they'll just give them like 1 star after 1 star after 1 star after 1 star, and it will take out a business because of your personal attack on the situation. And it's disheartening. And I've seen it where somebody will say this whole long thing about their experience. We don't even know if it was the truth or not.
Yeah.
And then the business owner will come and have to try to clean it up publicly in front of everybody. So I just am like, you know what? Contact the business, give them an opportunity to make the situation right. But just think about that business as their livelihood, It scares me.
It's very scary. It's a very serious thing. Rob sent us a article just the other day of a company that, they shut down because of some people ganged up on them. But anyway, think about that, people. Come on now.
That's really, I know, we're like, anyways.
Well, it's personal for us because of our business, what we do. And so anyway, we'll let that go.
Yeah. This one, I can't wait to see what everyone thinks about this one because,
I'm like, do we even put this one on there?
I know.
Because really, political rants or any rants, you can talk about COVID. Oh my gosh, that'll start a war. You talk about mask, no mask. You talk about anything political, like we said, anything about religion. I mean, wow, you can really start some major things. But
You
political
sure can.
rants, I mean, okay. Again, while some of them are entertaining, but
Yeah.
you sit there and you know for sure that it's not going to change the other person's opinion. It
Right.
never does. And then it just gets uglier and uglier and uglier. I mean, we all have our points of view, but it's not all about starting drama. I mean, and you have to think, if you're running a business, I don't know if people watch, there's a local radio show called Rick and Bubba here, and they're always like, hey, buddy, you're broadcasting. In other words, you're putting it out there. Everybody can hear you. Everybody's listening to you. If you're a business, you kind of have to think about what you are going to participate in on social media. And again, I mean, I've had a lot of backspacing. You know, that's what Rob calls it, backspacing. In other words, I better not put that out there.
Yeah, you get fired up, you know, because you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. And you got to be very, very careful. And Melissa, are you saying nope, never to
never?
Yeah, which one?
Rant. Or is she saying no, never, like I'm going to rant or not to rant? Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, and we talk about this too. I think, you know, everybody is passionate about certain things and there's nothing wrong with that. But you also got to think, if you're a business, you know, it's a slippery slope. You put your political opinions out there, you have no idea who could be offended by it. Could be some of your customers, and they, you know, you could potentially lose business over it. So is it worth it? You know, that's just something you have to think about. And I mean, while we're on the subject, I think any public ranting is just excessive and obnoxious. And frankly, I feel like social media isn't your personal library diary. Like, it's not your journal. You know, you don't have to, however you feel. You know, they always say that count to 10, take a deep breath. But I don't know. I just think we all have bad days. Most people have a bad day and they'd like to share it. The ones that bother me are the ones that are like never ending rants of rage, like sharing your drama just to get attention. It's just not what grown-ups should be doing. It's like, let's be grown-ups. So sometimes I'm like, maybe Facebook isn't where you need to be. Maybe you need to call a therapist.
This is true.
Oh, boy.
What's this next one? Vaguebooking. Explain that one to us.
Okay. Vaguebooking is, I'm always like, one up, like, oh, this one drives me nuts too. But it's almost like where you are putting information out there to get attention, but you're doing it by being super vague. The ones where it's like, oh, I'm so upset right now, but I don't want to talk about it, so don't ask. I'm like, no, or it's just like, oh, just when I thought things couldn't get any worse. Well, what's going on? You didn't tell us anything. That's Vaguebooking.
Yes, I'm with you on that. It's kind of like, and yeah, I don't know if I'm even going to mention that other one, because it's like the unspoken blah blah blah. It's like, unspoken. Then how do we know what to pray for? What?
yeah, right, exactly. I mean, I'm like, I totally understand being down and out, but if you don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it. Don't bait me into feeling sorry for you. And then, I don't know. I just feel like if you want help, people are going to help you, but don't be vague about it and then make everyone fall over themselves just trying to figure out what's going on with you.
Yeah, and it causes me to worry. I'm like, I wonder what's going on. I wonder what the problem is, but then you don't want to ask. It kind of puts me in a little turmoil. It's like, can you imagine even carrying on natural conversations in person like this? You do this to somebody in person. I mean, can you imagine, like, I don't know, checking out at the grocery store and going, well, things are getting interesting now, and just like walking away? I mean,
yeah, she was like, what's getting interesting?
So yeah, those vague things, that kind of gets on my nerves.
I think, and I don't know how the viewers think about that. Some people, it doesn't bother them. If they say, I look, looking for answers, be saying your prayers. I'm like, okay, but what I need some details. Like, what's going on?
Jacob, you're so funny. Now he's like throwing a bunch of them all together. He goes, the vague public shaming post about a friend cracked me up. It's like,
hey, you know what? He's right. Those are out there. Some people like to do a combo.
Yeah, that's really bad. That's extra bad. What do you guys think? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that Cindy shared the other day when we were asking the question, she said what really drives her crazy is if somebody's had a really bad injury or something, and they're like sharing their medical stuff or showing gross pictures on social media. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with you on that one, Cindy. It's like, I didn't need that much detail.
Yeah, I'm with her on that. It's like, all right, we'll take your word for it. We don't need the graphic nature.
It's like, okay.
Okay, so number 6. We got 8 of these here today.
Oh,
so
boy,
number 6. We're rolling. Selling all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, buy this now. You should really buy this now. Have we mentioned that you should really buy this? Buy. Oh gosh, I feel like, everyone, when you're passionate about a product, and you might very well have a really great product, but it's this down my throat, 0 two-way dialogue that drives me nuts. I just think that selling your product and using social media as a forum is great, but it can't be all you do. You're gonna lose people.
Yeah, exactly. It's an engagement tool. Social media, again, is supposed to be social, it's supposed to be building relationships. I mean, not saying that you should not sell your products, but you need to tone it down a bit. What's the percentage, Sarah, of what you should be like sharing as a resource, but also sharing as your products and services?
It's kind of like 1 every 10, and obviously no more than once a week, and that's really stretching it.
Yeah, because you really want to be a resource for people. That's your main thing. Excuse me. Anyway, we could go on and on about that. Yeah. Cindy's like, nobody needs to see open wounds, broken bones, stitches up close, or anything that's oozing. Ew.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm so with you. I'm like, why would you do that? Oh
golly. Harry. I know. It's like, yeah, you don't.
Harry, she's like, I can pick a number 1. Happy to say these are also all my pet peeves. So I can't pick a number 1. That's what she's saying. I can't even. Back to social media as an engagement tool. Just mix it up a little bit and stop sending DMs to people that you don't know trying to sell your products. So I got one this morning. I'm like, what is this? Who is this person? Oh, they just told me all about what they're selling and wanted to know if I wanted it. And it's like, I don't even know you, first of all.
Right. They're like, hey, I really thought that this is something that you could use. We do this, and this, and this. And it's so one-sided. It drives me nuts.
I'm sorry. These comments are cracking me up. I know you're over there like trying to run the show. And I'm
I know. You're like, it was a great day to buy a house, Johnson.
Tell me about that house, John. And Gail's like, yeah, this drives me crazy. All the advertisements, she just hates them. Ugh. It can get old.
It's so funny. Like, hey, everybody, have you looked into refinancing?
Yeah, great day to refi. Oh.
The market's hot. I'm just saying. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's move on to number 7.
Yep.
Excessive tagging or unsuccessfully tagging. So again, like my opinion on this is that unless it's a family friend or a family member or a trusted friend, I'm pretty much against all tagging without my permission. And I feel like it goes without saying, I could not stand the ones where I was tagged in when it was like a group of us, like a group shot, and I was tagged. And, just as a woman and a human being, like, I'd like to pre-screen these pictures before they go out.
Yeah, they're always
there to me. They're always there to me that you look like a model, and I'm over there like, and then they're like, tag, that's it. Now you're out in the public. I'm like, oh, thanks for that. Worst angle possible, but you look great. So to me, that's my tagging that drives me nuts. But thankfully now you can actually accept or decline tags in your settings. You can do that, which I happily do. But I used to get tagged on all these that was like part of like 200 people, and I don't even, know that person, and that was drove me nuts.
Yeah, I found that option real early as far as you have to approve tags or photos that you're tagged in. It's like you're right, because it's always the worst. Oh God, that's so funny. And when you have something going on, an event or something, don't tag a gazillion people. Now, I will say there is a caveat to this. Unless you know that person wants that information. Like, I have a friend of mine that every Monday she has an event Monday evening, and I'm glad she tags me because I want to tune in. I always forget. It's like, oh, cool. Yeah, I forgot that's on there. I guess not doing it without somebody's permission is the big deal. And then the other thing, like, we're in a lot of networking groups and stuff, and if you're on Facebook and you're trying to help somebody out, like if somebody's asking for a lawn maintenance or a lawn care company, and you're like, okay, I know this person, make sure the tag works, because if not, you just basically wasted time, and you meant to help the person and you just didn't. I know that sounds dumb, but all the time, that's just a pet peeve of mine. It's like, you look like you tagged, I know you were trying to, but you just didn't do it anyway. Yeah. So make sure it goes through. And then a side note, I think a lot of people think that if you tag somebody on Instagram, it automatically goes to tag on Facebook. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
So you need to retag. I know Facebook and Instagram can be tied together on a lot of things, but that's one of them that they are not. So anyway, keep it in mind.
I know. It's like, don't go through all that work of tagging, and then all of a sudden it didn't even tag them. It didn't even work. So, yeah. Okay. So we'll go on the grand finale. Number 8, too many updates. I mean, okay. I want to use this tagline. Are you getting an echo? I'm getting an echo. Oh, okay. Maybe it's just my head.
That's the way our mornings come. I'll mute out. You go.
So I feel like I want to use this tagline of, just like there's a drive responsibly, I want to be like, post responsibly. I mean, because there's a ton of guides out there, that you see on social media, like, how often should I post, or what time should I post? And none of them will say, make sure you make 50 updates a day. Like, none of them. So those things are the ones where it's that whole, like, it's not your personal diary. And there's this thing I heard one time I love, where they said, you'd be surprised how little people are thinking of you. And what I mean by that is the thing of, like, people are not hanging on the edge to be like, oh my gosh, what did they have for breakfast? Oh my gosh, did they have a good drive to work? Oh, please update me. Like, no. Stop.
Well, yeah, and it can get to the point where it's just all so meaningless. And especially if you're a business, you have to think about this. You have to have content that's valuable. And I would say, yeah. I'm definitely echoing now. What's going on? And it's probably in my head this morning too. All right. But if you're a business, again, original content, we talk about this all the time. Just don't overdo it. Stop clogging up people's feeds, because they're going to end up deleting you or whatever if you are just annoying them. So you don't want to do that, especially if you're a business. So I don't know. How about everybody? Let's see. Gail says, what happened to Facebook business pages for advertising versus personal pages? Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. You should use business for business, personal for personal. And John says, does anybody really want to see pictures of your food? I've been guilty of that one. I've taken pictures of my food before.
I know. It's just, I mean, there's some that I've been guilty of that too, where I'm like, this looks so good. I need everybody to know.
And Jacob goes, I do. Yeah, it's like my cats. I know everybody's dying to see how cute my cats are. So I definitely have to put that out there. I mean, that's about like food.
Yeah.
So we're guilty too.
Yeah, we are guilty. We are.
But this was fun. Anybody have any last minute ones we can run by before we head out? That was fun. And quite honestly, it was hard to put it down to just 8, wasn't it?
It was. We could go on and on and on. There's probably a lot of honorable mentions, but I don't know. I mean, I just think what's the message in all of this? I don't even know. It's just, like I said, post responsibly.
That's the message. That is the message. John, I love you anyway, Glenna. Oh, I love you too, John. Yeah. Really.
Now I feel like we need that rainbow to go across that says, like, the more you know.
I would think post responsibly is what you should take out of this show for sure. So we'll just go with that and wrap it up. But I appreciate you all joining us today. It's been kind of fun. Not kind of. It's been really fun. So we're just going to wrap it up. And as always, if you need any help with any digital media, even if you want to talk about should I do this or not do this, make sure to contact us. And people are like, yeah, I'm kind of guilty. Eric's like, I'm guilty of not posting enough. You guys are funny. Thanks, John and Cindy. Thanks for all of you tuning in. We will see y'all next week, Friday at 8 o'clock. Come on and join us again.
All right. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.